Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your September 2023 reading. So, I meditated on your energy and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about. Here, the first card that I have is the Seven of Swords in reverse. So, for my beautiful air sign here, this is like the process of stopping to cut your own legs. Bad talk to you in that inner dialogue, pulling out your old, disappointments and things like that to cut your own legs. When you look at this card, you see that the guy has three swords in his hand. So he's using his Tree of Sword, the beliefs that are stuck in his heart, preventing him to just follow his heart like this. And that's how he can defeat the other parts of him that should be building, that should be growing, that should be happy, that should be going for what they want, and so on. Like this, we're kind of letting go of this. The second card is the Nine of Wands. So we're going to address that little force field around us, or what we're expecting. So this is going to be addressed right away. So the moment I stop using my Tree of Sword, then what I expect, my defensive mode, is going to be addressed. And then it's probably going to be ending up with a decision. Because this is either I look at what I've lost, what have hurt me, my grievings, that justify looking at the future like this, and then, even preventing me from putting myself out there not to be hurt like this again. Or taking my cup and bringing it forward of this is what I love, and there's nothing stopping me for bringing it forward. So there's a bit of that process here for you, Gemini. Here, under our Five of Swords, we understand that we're healing here. Four of Swords. And that's why the defensive mode is also releasing. Like we're putting down the weapons, putting down the guards, putting down the argument, the mental fighting, inner fighting. Okay? And when this is going to be done, that's when we're really going to have finished our cycle, and that we will have this brand new fire, willpower, energy, direction, passion in our lives. Under the Nine of Wands, I have the Six of Wands. And I have the Seven of Cups in reverse. There's another seven coming down. And the Seven of Cups, it's all about projections. So, if I was hurt in the past, Five of Cups. If I grieved in the past, this remains in my waters. And so when Venus revisits, she's going to pull them up. She's going to make us project them in front of us. See the possible downfalls, the possible hurts. We don't know how we're reading things. And if we don't know how we're reading things, then we're going to be on the defensive. The Six of Wands, that's the, you know what? That was my Vietnam, and now it's over. I'm coming back. I understand the lesson. I don't have to defend myself, prove that I was right. I'm done with that. I'm coming back home. I'm ready to be cheered. I'm ready to have the energy outside of me pushing me up instead of attacking me, bringing me more of the same, because this is my reality. So at the end here, when we're hitting Knight of Cup, being a Gemini, it's almost like you had like a small, a sad twin, and a twin that's got its hand on its heart, or its heart on its hand. Sorry. So there's the Gemini right here. I'm not surprised that we have this duality at the end. And here I have Hermit, 10 of Swords. And that's good for you, 10 of Swords. That means that any sword distortions is over. I see the price. I understand an aspect of as above, so below on a whole new level. And now I am ready to use my knowledge, my wisdom to move forward in life. So, my knowledge, my wisdom. The hermit went to see the high priestess in the story of the tarot to learn how to listen to its soul. And so what happens is that all of a sudden I won't be juggling anymore. It won't be one twin the other, one twin the other. 5 of Cups slowly within me, but then outside of me, bringing my heart anyway. And having those emotions up and downs, I'm not juggling anymore. And I'm not gonna restrain myself to what I've known until now. This is the process of getting out of an emotional prison. This is understanding the cosmic intelligence, wisdom that my higher spiritual self is trying to transmit to me. So let's clarify this, my beautiful Geminis. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Geminis for the month of September 2023. September 2023. All right. Okay, let's look at your 5 of Sword. 5 of Sword for Geminis. The 5 of Sword in reverse is that this is what is, here you go, is actually going to allow you to make that decision to go for your fulfillment, to actually invest energy in your emotional fulfillment, in your peace, in your serenity, in your joy, in your capacity to bring and receive joy. So maybe bring yourself from the 5 to the 6. So at the beginning of the month, you're actually able to see this. Let's look at the 4 of Swords and the 7 of Wands in reverse. So, of course, if we have the 4 of Swords, there's been an understanding. Here, I stop on the 4 of Swords. There's been an understanding that helps you to heal, to understand where those 3 of Swords came. Once we understand where they come from, we know their lies. And therefore, the arguments that maybe our left brain is using doesn't seem so, I don't believe you so much, because now I know where they come from. Here, as I stop and it's the 4 of Swords in reverse, there's the, at the same time I'm healing, but at the same time I'm ready to get out of the mausoleum. Let's see. 7 of, and You know, when we live something and we draw conclusions from whatever our trauma or our experience has been, then we're on the defensive from that. Okay? Like if it's abandonment, then every time there's a possibility of abandonment, in the Seven of Wands, we'll reject it before they abandon us. So it's a kind of protection, but it's because of the vision, it's a reaction from a wound. Let's see here. There's the understanding. And here I have the Ten of Pentacle in reverse with it, because that, you know, trauma, whatever way of doing things has been happening for the past 10 years, 20 years. It's your past cycle. And the way you were, the way your mechanics that you developed to function, you're not growing anymore unless you do this. So it's essential that you finish that cycle so that the Ace of Wands is available. And as it fell on the floor, it kind of flipped upright. So that what that tells me is that as you're processing this opportunity, you're starting to see, yes, I think I know what that ace is. I think I know what that new way of bringing my passion, my solar plexus out there, my fire, my soul out there is. Let's clarify the world and the Ace of Wands. The world and the Ace of Wands. Okay. All right. Justice. Here we have a bit of anxiety with it. All right. That's okay. You're an air sign. Around justice. And here I have the Fool in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You know, we can understand how, for things to be balanced, how they should be. We can understand it mentally. But as long as we haven't really finished that old cycle, how are we actually going to be able to embody that, make it happen, have our reality reflecting this? There's still anxiety about it. So we might still be a bit on our defense mode here. Nine of Wands. Because even though we understand it, we're still a bit conflicted about it. Yes, no, I'm still not willing to, put myself out there. Maybe there's leftover conflicts in my life. Two of Swords, I need to make a decision of what is my truth when it comes to justice. I cannot hold two truths at the same time. I cannot not hold the unfairness of what I've went through, and at the same and that I'm gonna prove myself right, that the universe is like this, okay? And at the same time, be there, bringing my heart in that certitude that ultimately it's always going to be balanced. So let's look at the Six of Wands. All right. So when it comes to my acknowledgement, I'm juggling a bit. Why? Because emotionally, I am still not solid. You know, the King of Cups, when he's upright, he's like the Man of Tao. He cannot be hurt. Because the triggers, let's say, in his water from old pains are not accessible. If I see a situation or whatever, I won't be triggered by it. It will not bring back a whole wave of what I've went through in my old pains, and I will not project it in front of me. So during the month, this might be a bit of back and forth about this, because either my programming, my experiences are on top, or my higher self is on top. Seven of Cups in reverse. All right. Seven of Swords in reverse. You're going to see your general beliefs of disempowerment slowly leaving. The Wheel of Fortune is in reverse because there's still an understanding, a clarity that needs to come so that we can really get rid of all of this, all of that back and forward. I still have a big part of me that's holding on to an old lie kind of thing. Okay? Let's look at that. 5 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. 5 of Cups and Knight of Cups. All right. Gotta get out of my head and gotta pull a judgment. And that's what's gonna happen. At the end, we have the 2 of Swords. We have the Lovers. This is all about pull a judgment. Look in its face. Bring up these old sadnesses. Look at them and resolve them. Embathe them in the vibration of that trumpet. Change their, water is memory. You put a sound that comes from heaven of a higher vibration. You can alter, not altering the memory, but altering the emotional effect that that memory has on you. You know, it's easy to say, well, they did their best. They didn't know better or whatever. Like, yeah, our brain can understand that, but doesn't change the waters. Doesn't change that it still hurts, or maybe we're still mad about it or whatever. Changing the frequency of a water, of a memory, that means that we remember it, but we're not being disturbed by it. We're not being shoved around like I'm coming back from my war, but I'm still emotionally affected by it. So here, 10 of Sword and the Hermit, 2 of Cups. Of course, it's other people. 2 of Cups, it's not just our lovers, it's our friends, it's our family, it's all the mirrors in our life. And here, 4 of Cups. What finally our High Priestess is gonna tell us to let go. Here, the realization of the 10 of Cups is the price we've paid for believing that that's all there was. We cannot release an old emotional imprint if we do not replace it with a new one. There's no empty space in life. So this is like bringing up one wound after the other, replacing it with a higher vibration to ultimately not being affected anymore and being able to withhold much more light. And here, she's the one in charge of it. And then when we're investing ourselves, this is what we're investing in. This is actually going to allow you to invest, grow who you are, ground yourself much more. Let's look at the High Priestess. High Priestess. She's getting rid of the old karma. That's what she does. This was very Saturnian. This is really, you're evacuating the devil. You're evacuating an old karma. This is finally hearing your soul over what this guy used to tell you that would have enslaved you in that paradox, Gemini. That would have allowed disempowerment. Procrastinating when it comes to following your heart and hey, I've always wanted to do that. This is my passion. I can either bring it lightly with joy and passion, with acknowledgement, or with the huge fear of a possible downfall, attack, and sadness. then I would always be juggling. I need to bring this understanding into my daily life and into my body also for some of you. So this is a liberation, Gemini. Yeah, liberation. So on this, I'm gonna send you all my love and light. And of course, thank you for watching, sharing, commenting, and all of that. Please subscribe to help grow the channel. If you want a private reading, because this is going to be, yeah, pivotal toward, it's a pivot towards freedom. Well, you know, private reading website below, you just go there and it's very user friendly. And on this also, thank you for the ones of you who gave donations. It helps more than you think. I ask the universe to give you back on the new moons and full moons, and this month we have 2 of them. So on this, my beautiful Gemini, all my love and light, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.